Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Keys and
Hey, keys and
Conversation.
conversation.
We have with us today Tiffany Gill. She is the
hmm
owner of TJ Corporate Housing Company LLC, and we're excited to have her to learn about her business, hear about her business. How are you doing?
Hey, Tiff.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here today.
Good. We're happy
We're
to
happy
have
to
you.
have you. hmm
We're happy to learn more about this business of yours because we are very
Yeah.
intrigued.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, so I'm happy to share.
Yes.
Good,
And
good.
I just remember hearing all about you when you and your brother were little, and your mother and I were working at together at Purdue. And I'm like, okay, I've been following you, and I'm just so proud of all the things that you're doing, just stepping out as a young entrepreneur.
Thank
We
you.
can really, everybody can learn from others all the time, but especially someone at your age and just kind of just went for it, you can really teach the masses. And so I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, we gotta
absolutely. I
talk.
definitely just kind of threw myself out there and believed in
hmm
myself and,
hmm
things kind of come to you when you do that. So,
Yeah,
Exactly. And you
sometimes
have
you
a
just have to
support
step
system.
out on faith and just do it, you
Yep.
know?
yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
And like you said, Gay, having that support system is probably what
hmm
made all the difference. Having my
Yeah.
parents and my brother, they're kind of like my team. And I always say
hmm
we're like a well-oiled machine because everybody has their role. And, I couldn't have done it without them. So definitely
Yes.
not just me. I,
I
I joke about it with my mom all the time. It's like, I know my company is called TG Corp, but it's really like T and M G Corp because my mom, her name is Myra, so she is like my right hand and helps me
your
with
right
everything.
hand. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
Nice.
what she told me as well.
Mhm.
So, so let's dive in. If you want to introduce your business and tell what your business is, and then Michelle and I have a couple questions for you, and then we'll just let you take the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am the owner of TG Corporate Housing. We specialize in corporate rentals, usually like midterm stays, so that's 30 nights plus. I started in Stamford and we've expanded Fairfield, New Haven, West Haven. I lived in California for a period of time, and so I had some rentals out there as well. And we focus on serving traveling professionals that are coming to the city that our units are located in, and housing them and making their stay as comfortable as possible. I also host for other homeowners as well, and those, they depending whether they want to do a vacation rental, a corporate rental,
hmm
whether they are renting or they own. There's so many different ways to go about this corporate rental world. So it's kind
Okay.
of, I try to wear as many hats as I can and serve my clients the best I can with what their specific needs are for their home. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
Definitely.
Now, what would you say for the new entrepreneur or someone that's interested in getting into your field? What did the numbers look like in the beginning? What would you say for someone that may be discouraged because they think they have to have a certain sum of money, or someone that's starting out with the sum of money but just doesn't know what direction to go?
Yeah, for sure. I would say, if you don't have a specific amount of money, but you want to start, there is lots of ways to go about it. There's different ways to fund your business. You can get lines of credit. I know in the beginning when I first started, I was in that situation where I started with one apartment and I was renting it and I furnished it. I took like my last little savings and I
hmm
furnished it. But I'm like, I want to scale. And so I actually got investors. So I created a pitch and I got investors and I got people who saw what I was doing on a small scale and believed in me and wanted to see what I had going grow. And that was what kind of allowed me to scale was by pitching to people who had the money, showing the
Okay.
value, showing them the numbers, showing them what I'm doing, and then them kind of just trusting me and me being able to deliver off of that. So,
That's
if
amazing.
that is the case, if you
That's a
don't
good idea.
have the money, always there's somebody that does, and make yourself valuable
Right.
and show to them that you can do that. Um, and if you do have the money and you don't know where to start, I always say, don't don't try to approach things by yourself. it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to build a team, because you are competing against people who have teams. And I think
Right.
a lot of times what stops people from fulfilling their dreams is thinking that they have to do it by themselves. And
Mhm.
it's, like I said, you're going up against a team of 5, 10 people trying to accomplish what they've done by yourself. So it's
By
okay.
yourself.
Yeah, it's okay to get your best friends or people that you trust, people that you've met online that have similar interests, and pooling your money together and building something as a team. That is what I
That's
would suggest
awesome.
also.
Now, did you keep those investors as business partners or you just strictly kept them? I mean, not keep them because I know it's your business, but did for a certain period of time, did you have to add them as business partners or they just trusted your vision until you were able to do whatever you needed to do as
Yeah.
far as
They just trusted me. They were, I guess you would consider them like private investors.
Okay.
I did everything. Me and my team, my mom, my dad, my brother, we did everything, and they just kind of collected a check every month. So, and that was usually people who are investing. That's kind of what they want to do. They'd
Right.
rather just give you their money, and you
Mhm.
figure it out and make it happen.
What
Right.
you do.
Less stress
Yeah.
on their part, the better. And so that was one of the things that was appealing was for them was knowing that I was gonna handle everything, and I was the one that knew how to do it, and so
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Good, good. That is awesome. So I have a question. So what inspired you to even start this business? How did you what came to you to say, "Hey, I want to do a luxury short-term,
yeah.
rental business?"
So I started this business in 2019, December of 2019, right before COVID happened. Right
Mhm.
before the crazy pandemic, everything got shut down, and I had a friend that was telling me about one of their friends that lived in Atlanta that was renting out an apartment, had it furnished, and then rented it out on Airbnb. And so they
Okay.
introduced to me the concept of Airbnb arbitrage, where
Mhm.
Okay.
you don't own the property, but you rent it, you furnish it, and then you list it. And so I had like light bulbs going off in my head because for the longest, I thought that Airbnb was solely you had to own the property in order to do
Right.
that. And so and that felt like so unattainable for me at the time. So to be able to hear that people were doing this concept without being a part of ownership and just renting, I was like, okay, this is something that I can do.
Mhm.
So I just rented out a studio apartment. I did not do it the right way. I didn't really ask for I didn't get permission to do the Airbnb in writing. And so that is something that
Okay.
I stress my
Right.
clients and with people that I'm coaching. I'm like, get everything in writing, have these landlords commit to the fact that you are doing Airbnb and put it in writing. And so I didn't do that. And I just furnished the apartment and I started to rent it out, and then I got caught, and they were like, "You can't be doing this here." So I was like, "Okay."
Okay.
And luckily, I only committed to a 6-month lease. So, I still did it anyways. I was like, "I'm gonna just rent this out, but then I'm gonna
Right.
try this again, and I'm gonna do it the right way." And so then I moved to a different apartment. I got the permission in writing. We drew up contracts. And then from there, it just kind of escalated. And then that's when I got investors and I was able to scale. In
Yeah.
a matter of, I think, 2 years, I scaled to 8 Airbnbs. And so that
Wow.
was like, yeah, and it happened fast, and I was like, "Whoa." I just woke up one day
Mhm.
and I'm like, "I have all these Airbnbs that I'm managing," and it was a little overwhelming, but that was like the aha moment, like, "Okay, this is something that can be, scaled and repeated if I have the
Okay.
proper systems in place." And so that's
Right.
that's kind of how it started, and then, I started to manage properties that people owned as well, so it wasn't
Mhm. Mhm.
so it was a totally different model where these
Okay.
people owned the property, they furnished it themselves, and they just needed somebody to manage it for them on a day-to-day basis.
Mhm.
So,
Is this
Now
where
were
the
those
luxury part of it comes in?
I think the luxury part of it came in when I had my apartments that I was designing myself. and I would kind of
Mm,
add this luxury touch to it, and that's where I got that aspect from it. But it definitely it just kind of blew up where I was like, "Oh, okay, this is happening." And I started to also design. So with the luxury part, people were noticing my design skills, and so I was starting to get hired to design units for other hosts all over the country. So that was something
Oh,
that
okay.
there's
awesome.
yeah,
Okay.
in this field there's so many different ways to branch off and expand where whether
Mhm.
owning and managing or just managing for other people, design and set up, delivering a turnkey Airbnb. There's so many ways to monetize off of it and to help other people.
Okay.
Wow, that's amazing. Great.
That's amazing. And just having the ambition to do that at your age, I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so
That
proud. No,
is
you really don't
awesome.
understand. Just in case nobody has ever told you that,
I
that's not
appreciate that.
something normal that someone your age is that conditioned to know that that's what you want to do and to trust God to step out on something and just go
Right.
for it.
Yes,
Because a
Right.
lot
absolutely.
of time people are waiting, and even people our age, because sometimes the fear stops you from doing so many things.
Hmm.
Exactly.
But I am
Exactly.
that's phenomenal. And then that's your testimony that anything that comes along in life, you did that, you can do anything.
Absolutely. And I tell people
Yeah.
that, it's almost like you have to have this sense of delusion about yourself.
Mhm.
I think the most
Mhm.
Mm.
successful people live in this state of kind of delusion where it's like I can do whatever I want as long as I put my mind to it. I don't need to have a degree. Like I don't have a
Exactly.
design degree. I'm not an interior designer, but I believe in myself. And I think it's
Mhm.
also like my parents and my family that are like any crazy idea that I have, they're like, "Yeah, let's do it." Like what's going to stop you? So
Mhm.
having that support system and just this belief in yourself that you're going to figure it out. And, it's like, I know I may not be the best, but as long as you try, you only fail when you
Yeah,
don't
of
try.
course.
Mhm. Right, and that's the
Absolutely.
learning process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's like if you don't put yourself out there, nobody else will. If you don't believe in
Right.
Yep.
yourself, nobody else will. It kind of
Nobody
Exactly.
else will.
yeah, and
Exactly.
if nobody else believes in you, it's okay as long as you
Believe
do.
in yourself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
So let's see. I had a question. What apps or tools do you use since you can't be everywhere all the time to help you automate your pricing, cleaning schedules, payments even?
Yeah. So, it's surprisingly, with Airbnb, they have this thing that if you are using like a point of sale, um, property management system,
Mhm.
they charge you an additional like 13% or something crazy. That it wasn't
Mm.
always like this, but they don't like that people are using these tools outside of Airbnb
Mhm.
to manage and
Mhm.
make a lot of money. So
Okay.
I
Right.
kind of built a system where I really use Airbnb the most as far as pricing. And so the other thing is, I know I'm like segueing, but with my pricing,
No, you're fine.
I do midterm rentals. So I do 30 night minimum. So I don't have to do that day to day pricing management. I
Mhm.
kind of have
Okay.
a
Okay.
flat rate. This is my monthly rate. It may change like in the winter months. It's more seasonal. That is much easier for me to control myself. And then I'm also dealing with tenants where I'm negotiating monthly rates directly with them. So you people do use like I think it's like Price Labs, Air DNA. Well, those are platforms where people use to manage the market and understand where pricing is at in the market. I'll more so look at like other pricing on Furnished Finder and kind of compare what other people are pricing their units at on a monthly basis in the area, and I'll do that myself. So I don't want to say I'm using a lot of systems because I'm really not as
Mhm.
far as like online pricing systems, But when it comes to scheduling with my cleaning team, that is something that I delegate.